What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's T.Bailey here with our iCoinPRO team. And in this video, we're going to be just going over an overview of what's inside iCoinPRO. We're going to do a little bit of live training, and I'm going to talk about an ICO that I just found through my iCoinPRO sponsor that I think is going to be working its way up to the top 10 coins. So we're looking at the login page to iCoinPRO once you've logged in. And on this screen, you can see I like they added this not too long ago, where you can actually see the live feeds of the coins, whether they're up or down. Green is up, red is down, blue is kind of just moving side by side. And inside iCoinPRO, they have a lot of tools that are very important for trading, and that's what I want to touch on of what's available for trading tools inside of your iCoinPRO membership. So you want to go to the micro profit system right here, and you'll see all the trainings first. Getting started obviously is up top, work your way down, get more familiar with Bitcoin, everything's in here. I'm actually in a couple of these trainings, I think, as they made them. And then you'll get down to the micro profit system. So you want to, before you start trading, before you open up your exchange account and get in there, you want to go through these two very important trainings. They go over every detail you need to know about the buying opportunities you need to take, and then the ones you need to stay away from. It's very important to not just jump in and throw some money at the wall and hope something sticks. It's a really easy way to lose some money. I learned that the hard way. I watched one of the videos one time, like at 3 in the morning. It's like, oh, I'm a pro, and I lost a couple bucks. But if you ever have any questions about, oh, what am I doing? I'll go back and I watch these all the time still. I think it's very important. Every time I watch it, I pick up one little thing that I can, do better, or I pick up a new thing that I didn't catch the first time. And then the tracking sheets, I'm not too big on. I just kind of just go with it. I just do this more of a hobby. I keep my tabs open on the computer here while I'm working in my office, and I'll just monitor the coins. But if you want to keep track of your trades, you can use the tracking sheet here, and you'll be able to see your returns for the day, for the month, for the year, and just kind of it's a cool tool to use for sharing results. If you wanted to keep track of your results and just share them from social media, you just take a screenshot and then post it on your Facebook page or something like that. So you can show people, look, this works, I'm doing it. If you knew me before I joined iCoinPRO, I couldn't do this. I learned it from inside here. And I think the most important tool in here is the exchange calculators. This calculator right here, I have one open in this tab. I always keep one open in this tab here. That's the squeeze calculator. The fees calculator, it's one of the most important tools. So you can go here and type in, say you're looking at Sia coin, however you say it. So you type in Sia coin, it's SC. You can type in SC. Say you bought it at, what's the current price? 0.00000055, and say I bought 10,000 of them. That's pretty cheap. I'm gonna add the entry there, and this will tell me, it'll break down everything I need to know for the numbers that I need to sell at for the desired profit I need. So the micro profit system, and obviously the name explains itself. You want to aim for getting micro profits and letting those compound over time. Because even if you just do one trade at 1% a day, those are still very nice returns. Because what do you make in your money in the bank? Just letting it sit in there in a year, you probably lose a couple bucks from inflation, honestly. So this calculator right here, it comes out, and if you're watching your coins, if they're moving fast, like yesterday I was trading in, I pulled out a 5% profit on a couple trades in the matter of minutes. And when the markets are moving quick, you want to reference to this and just have it ready in another tab. So that way you can see what your profits are projected to be, and you're not guessing if, should I sell it right now? And then don't forget about this little part right here. This will let you know how far behind you are, and if you're hitting a 5% loss, it might be time to consider just jumping out of that trade because you don't want to lose too much of your money. It's not fun to be stuck in a trade for too long, just staring at the screen, just going, it's not a fun. So then another important tool that is in here is the squeeze calculator. If you're doing the squeeze strategy, if you're doing the buy the squeeze strategy, it's when the Bollinger Bands are getting closer and closer together. You can use the squeeze calculator to type in the price of the top Bollinger Band and the price of the bottom Bollinger Band to see if it's a true squeeze. And if it's not, you can calculate and it'll say not a squeeze. If it's not a squeeze, that trade right there may not go the way we predict inside of a squeeze, by the squeeze strategy, because it's not a squeeze, even though it may look like one. So it's very important if you're going to be buying the squeeze. I always reference to this calculator if I'm looking at a squeeze trade coming up. I will go in here, type in the Bollinger Bands. It says not a squeeze. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll just watch it a little bit. But it's important to keep that in mind. If it's not a squeeze, you can't expect to buy the squeeze strategy to work because, again, it's not a squeeze. Excuse me. So then down here, there are calculators if you want to calculate your compound returns. Say you're doing, you wanted to just project what you're doing, find out what your returns will be. If you're doing 1% a day, that's 30% a month. So you can type in here, 30%. Say you put in $1,000 in, and you're doing one trade a day at 1%. Yeah, I've never used this before, to be honest. So let's put 1 year in there. Sorry. So in 1 year, if you're doing 1% a day, that's a nice return there. Obviously I can't guarantee returns. iCoinPRO is just an educational service. It teaches the strategies we use to get our profits from trades, but it is up to the individual trader to apply the strategies with caution. But I mean, if you're doing 1% a day profit, that's 30% a month. That's, I'm not the best at math. That's 30 times 12. That's 360% a year. You can make $35,000 on compounding $1,000. I mean, that's completely possible and realistic. I think it's easy enough for anyone to use these strategies and apply them and make it minimum 1% a day. I made like 15% yesterday. It's very realistic. I made that in like 1 or 2 hours too last night at like 2 in the morning. So those are the most important tools that I find myself using the most. Again, you can just log into your iCoinPRO here. You log in. This is the screen. Oh, I logged out. This is the screen you see when you log in. You come down here, micro profit system. You scroll down past the training, and you'll find the trainings for the buy the squeeze, buy the dip, the tracking sheet we went over, the different exchange calculators. It's important not to mix up the exchange calculators. If you're on Bitfinex, don't use the Poloniex. If you're on Bitrex, don't use Bitfinex. I mainly just use Poloniex because I like the extra features it has for watching tools. It does have a lower volume, but I like the margin trading options that it has. It gives you, I'll get into that later when we actually start looking at that. But it's very important to stay up to date with the trainings iCoinPRO has, because cryptocurrency has a lot of different things. I did it again. It has a lot of different things that are coming out and changing, and it's very volatile, which is what makes it risky, but what also makes it so lucrative if you do stay on top of what you're doing. So every Monday there is a live video training that you can click this tab right here, and they'll drop you straight to it. Every Monday, this is live right here, and you can catch the replay for the rest of the week until the next Monday, where the next live training is going to be. If you wanted to start really marketing iCoinPRO, one thing I do recommend you do is start keeping track of the trade sheets just for social credibility, because it's easy to say, look, boom, right here, I have a tracking sheet. These are the trades that I've done. So then in here, you can find other marketing tools. You can find an iCoinPRO store. You can find like business cards. They have templates made up. They have T-shirts. It's just cool, cool things in here that you can do to just, be a walking billboard to build your business. And then over here, they have banner ads. If you're into like placing ads on different websites to direct traffic, I'm not sure if anyone on the team yet is really into that besides me, but you can find all kinds of banner ads and just advertise them all over all kinds of different websites. And you'll get people signing up that you've never met, never talked to, and they'll just start joining your team. And then one thing I did that I really found useful when I first got into iCoinPRO, after they released this, is you can download a PowerPoint. And the PowerPoint is just a walkthrough overview of what, I'll open it real quick to show you guys. It's a walkthrough. It's downloading. It's a walkthrough of a short overview of Bitcoin, an overview of iCoinPRO, and I think they added a section at the end of the compensation plan. We'll find out. Let's open this up, and I'll just kind of breeze through it with you guys and gals, because Anastasia's here. Is it loading? Okay, here it is. So it's really cool. It's really cool PowerPoint. I really like what they did with it. They really cleaned it up from the first one that I saw when iCoinPRO actually launched. So what I did when I really started marketing iCoinPRO and I was really new with it, what I would do I would just downloaded this PowerPoint right here, and I did a Zoom chat just like this, except it was just myself in the video, and I just kind of talked through and recorded myself going through this PowerPoint. So when people started asking me questions about iCoinPRO or Bitcoin, I would send them the video of me going through this. So it would be me just talking, saying, hey, you know, in the beginning, Bitcoin, the first ever digital currency that allowed people to send money peer-to-peer securely without the need for banks or intermediaries. So I kind of, I kind of just went through this, and I talked about the slides, I read the slides, and I recorded the whole video of me just sharing the information about iCoinPRO. So if you want to do that, it didn't take long at all. It took maybe 10-20 minutes for me to just read the PowerPoint and share that. I uploaded the video onto Facebook, and there are a few people that liked it and comment on it, and it was really the first thing that I did to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, I'm a part of this. And then naturally people started just thinking of that when they thought of Bitcoin. So those are some cool tools right here in the marketing tools section. And where is it? Statistics, source statistics. There is a section here I haven't used since I set it up. It is a section where you can customize parts of a website so you can track where your traffic's coming from. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Let me find it. I haven't used it since I set it up. Websites, training, genealogy, marketing tools. It's not. Is it in statistics at the bottom here? Source statistics. Can you type a new one in at the bottom? Okay, yeah. So right here, it's a source code you can set up for yourself. So you can find out if you're using Twitter, if you're using Instagram, if you're using Facebook. You can put your affiliate link, whichever one you're using, on the My Websites Addresses tab. You can put this source code right here at the end of the link. So it'd be $source equals your username. So then it would be anywhere you post that, you could tag that one source code for Facebook. You can tag one for Instagram. So that way you know which one is generating the most traffic from your links. This one is my favorite one. I just use Facebook mainly. And then that's pretty much the main tools that I've used that are straight from iCoinPRO. So then it's nice to have a product that's a service, so you're not having to keep up with auto ships and selling products and stuff like that. So I really liked iCoinPRO on an affiliate marketing side. And to this point, I'll show you guys my back office really quick, my genealogy. I think I have about 200 people in my business so far. Yeah, I've got 203 people now in my business so far. A lot of it came from people I don't know, people I've never met, people I've never talked, so I haven't been able to include them in our group chat because I have no idea how to really contact them, and they don't answer my emails other than so they're there, they're doing their thing, and I found them mostly just random places online. So I'll break this down because I was very confused about what this page was for the affiliate marketing side. The fast start member count, that's for people that are enrolled and pre-enrolled for the new calendar month that we're in. The fast start member count are people that haven't been paid, that you haven't been paid on in the on the monthly membership bonus, because they haven't been in the business long enough for them to count as your team volume. So then all the people right here haven't even been placed in the matrix yet either. So the matrix member count are people that are currently this month or currently in the last calendar month already placed in your matrix. So the matrix member count are people that have already come out of the power line into our matrix, binary plan. So I have 203 people now, and the list goes on. So once you go through the trainings, I recommend attending the live video trainings every Monday if you have the time. Catch the replay if you don't have the time to catch it live. But again, I'm gonna go over these links really quick and explain the times that I use each individual one. The top one here is for people that I feel are familiar with affiliate marketing and are interested in the affiliate marketing side of iCoinPRO. This video that's on the website here explains a short overview of Bitcoin, and then it breaks down the power line structure, how the matrix works out, and it's more geared towards affiliate marketing. And then the second one here is just a simple sign-up form. Say you've talked to someone about it 3 times, and they finally said, okay, I want in. I would send them this form because they don't need to see this video. They don't need to see the hangout. They've already had a couple exposures to it. And then the third one here is the iCoinPRO Hangout. It's the weekly Wednesday or weekly online webinar. The WOW Hour, that's what the WOW Hour stands for, weekly online webinar or Wednesday online webinar. And this is the one I usually share right off the bat because the WOW Hour is just a complete overview of what we do, what's currently we're working on, what's happening in the crypto world right now. They usually touch on some kind of news in there. This one right here is usually my go-to first exposure. So when someone asks, what is iCoinPRO? I'll just very briefly say, it's where I learned everything I know about cryptocurrency. I literally knew nothing about cryptocurrency before I joined iCoinPRO. And I tell them, like, wow. And cause I talk about it all the time on my Facebook. Like, yeah, I learned it all from here. If you want to check it out, tune into here, and then I'll send them this link. And I'll just say, let me know what you think when you're done. So if someone says I want reading material, I send them this. This is just the iCoinPRO.com site, but / your username. So with / your username, anyone that tries to sign up is automatically going to you, compared to just the regular website. There's no one, if they didn't want to type in your referral code, they wouldn't go to you. So send them here. I send people here that say, well, I don't want to watch a video. I want to read something. I send them to this last one here. So those are really all the tools that I use on iCoinPRO. Those are the trainings, where to find them. If you guys have any questions about any of this, I'm going to open this up real quick, see if you guys have any questions. See if I can unmute y'all. Oh, I muted myself on accident. I tried to unmute you guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I was just saying I accidentally muted myself when I tried to unmute you guys. Do you guys have any questions about the tools in here, the affiliate marketing side, when to share stuff, how to share stuff? Any questions about any of that?
No questions. That was a pretty good overview, though. I appreciated that part.
Cool, no problem. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna open up Poloniex right now. Poloniex, however you pronounce it. And I'm gonna kind of break down how I go through the coins, because what I'll do is I kind of just trade with a few tabs open on my computer. I'll be doing whatever stuff I do in my office here, and I will just pop in and go through the list one at a time with each coin. So I'll start at the top, and the way this works at the top, let me minimize that. So at the top here, the coin at the top and the way down, the coin at the top has the most trading volume, so it's usually going to move the fastest. So the higher the trading volume right here in this tab, the higher this number is, the more people are actively invested in that coin on this exchange. And when you're on the BTC tab, is how many Bitcoins are in the exchange for Ethereum, for Litecoin, for the NEM coin, for Bitcoin Cash. So the more coins that are in there is the more people buying and selling at the moment. So that means it's going to move faster. Compared to a coin way down here, the prime coin, XPM, only has 2 Bitcoins. It only has 2 Bitcoins in volume. So this one right here, if you look at it, it's probably going to be moving side by side. Yeah, so I mean, all this dead activity is just dead activity. You know, it's moving, but it's not really doing much of anything in between these moves. There's a big jump because someone probably invested 0.01 Bitcoin, which, you know, that big jump is not much of a return because there's just no volume here. You know, it's just not moving. Probably took a long time for that to happen. So I tend to stay with the coins up top that have you know, at least 1,000 coins, 1,000 Bitcoins and above in volume. So that way I know that if I see a good trading opportunity, I won't be stuck for 2 days waiting for that trade to actually execute while there's other trade opportunities happening. So I'll usually start at the top. So right here, Ethereum, looks like, you know, there's just a dip. We missed the dip. I'll go to Litecoin. And looks like there may be a dip opportunity coming up, but it's not quite ready yet because it's coming out of a squeeze. So whenever there's a dip forming, if it's coming out of a squeeze, it's going to be very volatile. So the training suggests that we stay away from dips coming out of squeezes because it could just go completely opposite and just tank, and it may not come up. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that, but that's what the training suggests. Now this coin right here, XEM, this is the one I was trading last night, in and out. I was in and out, in and out, in and out. And this may be good, a trading opportunity. Sorry, someone's calling me. Just tell them I'll call them later. Can't talk right now, sorry. Can't talk. I'll call you later. I'll call you soon. It's actually my dad. So XEM was a coin I was trading last night, and I was in and out of these. There was 1, 2, 3. I got all 3 of those dips. I stopped right here because I thought I was just going to keep tanking. But I was in and out of those dips last night. That was fun. This coin yesterday, it was up about, I think it was like up 60%. Yeah, I went from, this is what I was looking at yesterday. Oh, no, I was right here. I wasn't right here. I was in there somewhere. I don't know where I was. I was late. But this coin was completely volatile last night. It was moving very quick, and it was up about 60%. So one thing I've noticed is when Bitcoin is on the rise, all of these different altcoins usually are falling in volume and falling in value. They all start tanking. And it's not because they're worth less as far as the US dollar is concerned, but they're just worth less Bitcoins. So the difference is, it just takes, when you're trading Bitcoin for altcoins go down because Bitcoin's going up. It takes less Bitcoin to buy one of these altcoins. So when you're trading the two together, Bitcoin and altcoins, the rise in Bitcoin makes the value in Bitcoin of these go down because I don't need as many Bitcoins to buy a Litecoin anymore. So that causes, on the exchange here, these to usually shrink. And it's when you notice Bitcoin rallying and starting to go for a bull run on the way up, it's usually a good idea to sell your altcoins because those things are going to tank. And then once you kind of see, like yesterday or a couple days ago, we were talking in the group chat a lot because Bitcoin was rallying. It rallied up to like $17,000 per Bitcoin that one day. And what we noticed, Anthony mentioned it, was that the altcoins would be a good buy. And if you noticed, the next day after Bitcoin went from 17, and then that night it went down to like 15 to 14, and then the next day it went down to like 13 something, and then back up to 15 today. The altcoins during the time where Bitcoin came down was kind of stabilizing. All the altcoins were in profit. All of them were up because its value usually like slingshots back up to catch up to Bitcoin as Bitcoin kind of stabilizes. And then when Bitcoin, I'm not sure that's going to have as many dips as it used to, but Bitcoin used to go up $1,500 and then drop, like $2,700. And then during those dips, these altcoins would skyrocket. So during any Bitcoin dip, you'll notice all of the changes right here. I've seen coins go up 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 120% in a matter of 12 hours because Bitcoin's dipping. So Anthony had a point in the group chat when we were talking about it. If you had bought Litecoin during that dip, the US dollar value of Litecoin was like $40. I don't know if it got that low. It was like 50, 60 bucks, right around there. And now the value's up to $136 per coin. So anyone had the opportunity, no one knows what the value's going to be after, but everyone had the opportunity to get like 100% increase in their Litecoin's value. It shot up pretty quick. And we were able to, if say you put 100, or not 100, say you put 1 Bitcoin into Litecoins when it was down, and then it goes up 50%, then you sell it back for Bitcoin, now you have 1.5 Bitcoins. That's a huge return. And that's something you can do with altcoins, but you need to be very careful with your timing because, like I said, altcoins can be very volatile as Bitcoin's becoming volatile. So it's all something, you learn and you get more familiar with each individual coin as you trade them more. Like I had a bad experience with Ripple, and I feel like I know that coin inside and out now. I know every little thing about it. I Googled every article about it. But the news doesn't really affect the prices too much. It's just don't trade on news. Trade on our strategies here. So let's see if we can find a good trading opportunity right now. I'll kind of just work through it with you guys here. So BCH. That could be a squeeze coming up. So one thing, let's plug in the squeeze calculator here. See if I don't think it is, but let's check it out. So 0.923, 0.923, and then the bottom band was, that was the bottom band, 0.0923. So for any squeeze trade I do, I really do have this calculator open, and I'm doing this. So 0.0948. 0.0948. Pretty sure it's not a squeeze, a little far apart. And we're right. So I always reference back to this because if it's not a squeeze, it's not a trade. If you're trying to trade the squeeze and it says not squeeze, just wait for it. Just keep that in mind. So I'll put a little star right there. So I'll star BCH because I'm going to come back and look at that. So then let's go to XRP, see if anything's happening there. Nope. And then, so usually stop right around the $1,000 volume. So we could have a dip coming up here. There's one right here that we missed. That was a couple hours ago. And there's another one that looks like it could be forming as the bottom Bollinger Band is downtrending. So let's keep that one. Let's keep a tab on that one. Let's go to Monero. Monero just broke through the top Bollinger Band. It's going to dip soon. We don't know how far it's going to dip, but you can keep an eye on that. Ethereum Classic. That one used to be at the very bottom of the charts here. I don't know why that got so much volume. There's a few dips coming up here. This might be a good one forming right here. When you're watching for a dip, it's important to watch for at least three candlesticks here, 3 wicks to break through the bottom band. If you don't have at least through, it's not a dip as far as the strategy is taught. You need to wait for at least 3 of these to dip, and then the last trigger that you want to wait for to happen before you make a purchase to try to trade dip is that you need to wait for major buy volume to go up. So all these gray bars right here indicate buy volume. That's what all these are if you didn't know. Each one of these shows the volume of the coin actually being purchased. So when you're trading on a dip, we probably just missed this one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one right here would have been the good one to buy, and then this one really took off the buy volume right there. So we barely missed this party here. But you want to wait for the buy volume to just skyrocket because the buy volume going up indicates that all these sell orders are being fulfilled. Everything down here, I'll get into this in just a moment, but everything down here would have been fulfilled, so that leaves nothing but higher prices to be left for sale. So the buyers have no option but to buy higher because of the volume of these orders that have been fulfilled. Does that make sense, guys? I think I still left you unmuted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. And then let's see, we got Dash Coin here. This looks like it could be a squeeze coming up. So when you're looking for a squeeze, the number one thing you want to look at is that both of the Bollinger Bands are coming inwards towards each other. You know, the squeezier it is, the better, they say. So when this one's uptrending, this one's downtrending, that's a good sign of a squeeze coming up to form. So we're going to keep an eye on Dash here because that's not going to be ready for, you know, who knows how long it's going to take, but it's not quite there yet. So we don't really have any, trade opportunities ready to take advantage of at the moment. The markets are going a little slower than the last couple of days because it was going quick. It was going so quick over the last few days.
Hey, Travis, this is Doug. I got a question real quick.
Okay, good. Sure.
So on the squeeze, that one right there that's on the screen, if that is a squeeze, according to the calculator, what's the trigger point for a purchase? Is it volume and then the tip of the candlestick going over the top Bollinger Band?
Yeah, so for me, the number one thing I look for in a squeeze is when you got to make sure that this bottom band at all times during a squeeze stays uptrending. Because if it's going side by side and this one's coming down all of a sudden, that's going to drop. Because these Bollinger Bands, you know, they're indicators of where the price is predicted to be going based on the buy and sell orders down here. So if this bottom band is going side by side just in a straight line, there's no real bottom out changing. So this one's the only indicator here. So if they're both going side by side, there's no real activity moving, you know, up or down. But if this one is uptrending and then this one's downtrending, I'd get out of that because that's not going to be a squeeze. You know, that's just going to be completely volatile, unpredictable growth. You know, we have no idea what's going to happen. So when both of these are still just coming closer to each other, and then the candles are staying above the middle Bollinger Band right here. Because if they're staying below it, there's more of a chance that it's going to drop than rise. So one of the final indicator after the two bands coming closer together, the bands or the candlesticks staying above the middle band, the final indicator when I pull the trigger and I put in everything is when this band starts uptrending and then this one stays uptrending. So that's my final indicator right there. Once the squeeze is about to take off, the top Bollinger Band will start uptrending and the bottom Bollinger Band will stay uptrending because that's going to indicate just a full uptrend movement.
And they don't have to break the top Bollinger Band much in the manner that a dip would, where you're looking for 2 or 3 dips below the lower Bollinger Band before you actually pull the trigger.
Because on a squeeze, when it breaks the top, that's when you want to sell.
Okay.
Because usually once it breaks the top, it might break it once or twice, but you want to get out of there before it drops. Because after a squeeze, it usually drops back to where it was in the middle right away after it breaks through the top. But the one thing to keep track of, like, 'cause sometimes I'll just set the 1% and I'll walk away from the computer and just be happy with my 1% sell order. But like last night, I monitored it and I was able to watch it so I could see the continued, uptrend going. So like if this bottom band is still going up and this top band is still going up, it's indicating that there's just, growth ahead. So if both of those stay uptrending, then that's typically going to indicate that the price is going to continue to go up. And then when I'm actively watching it after a squeeze, I come down here. If I don't set my own sell order, if I don't, set a sell order and walk away, I'm going to watch the buy and sell orders. So like right here, I'll kind of break down the strategy I use here. When you can see this gray bar going right here, it's flashing. That means that buy order is being fulfilled. Someone's buying it right now at that price. So on the sell orders, if there's more buy orders going, then it really depends on the price. So on the prices here, you'll see that these are all consecutive order. The prices here, the lowest is at the top, and then here is at the highest is at the top. So the sell orders, those are going to sell. The ones that are going to sell first are the ones up top, all the way to the top. because that's the lowest one. No matter what your order is, I could put the highest order, but the lowest one's going to sell first. So if right here we're looking at, let's say we want to target, 9.0951. We're going to look right here, how far down the sell order is 0.9501. Because to get to 0.9501, which would be right here, everything above that has to sell. So if you think realistically that all of this can sell to get to 9, that number there, then you've got a shot. And the best indicator to think if it's going to get there is looking at the market depth here. So when we were talking in the group chat about those buy-sell walls, I was looking at the live market data right here, where like right here, the red is a sell order, the blue is a buy order. So right here, you see that little wall right there. It's a very small wall, but that means there's a bigger than the rest orders to sell at this one number. So if you're trying to get to 0.0951, but there's a huge wall at 0.089, then you're probably not going to get your order fulfilled before the price dips. Because when there's usually a wall right here, if there's a huge sell-off, the price drops because people keep they want to get their profits out, and people keep undercutting everyone to kind of sell first. Because if I want to sell my Bitcoin before you sell your Bitcoin, I've got to sell it to you, sell it cheaper than you're selling it. So when people are trying to sell off like that, it kind of makes it hard for the value to go up because everyone's undercutting everyone's price to make that sale. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay,
cool. So then when I'm monitoring things, like if you want to set the squeeze, you can use those 3 things. If you want to set your sell order at 1%, 2% on a squeeze, you can use those 3 triggers to just comfortably take a 1 to 2% profit. But if you want to monitor it because you think there's potential for maybe a 4 to 5% jump, then you can monitor it. See, like right here, we're getting kind of squeezy. See, this is downtrending, this is slightly uptrending, and it's right above the top. Let's check in on was it Dash Coin that looked a little squeezy too? Or is that a dip? Yeah, see, we got 2 squeezes forming right here, guys. So if you want to trade with me, we can monitor this together. Let's see. Just give me a second to analyze this. I'll make one of these trades since we're looking at it. Yeah, so STR, I'm not too thrilled about. Oh, that's a dip. We can watch that one. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash. Which one do you think? I'm going to ask you guys here. Which one is looking squeezier to you, Dash or Bitcoin Cash? I'm thinking Dash. But the thing is, Bitcoin Cash is higher in volume. So that one can change circumstances much quicker than Dash Coin down here. All it takes is one big buy-sell order to change the whole dynamics of the Bollinger Bands.
Hey, now, do you play into the decision also with like the 24-hour highs and lows also? Where
I do, yeah. So before I make a big decision, like if I'm going to go all in, if I'm going to put what's in my trading account here, 0.122 whatever, I'm going to look at the last day or two. So like we're supposed to look at and analyze the first 6 hours just to see the latest trends and get a close look at the bands here. But then I'll look at it like, well, how high has it been in the last day? Like, is it on a bull run? Is it coming down from a bull run? Because if the price is way up here and then we're looking and is down here, we're looking at how high is it going to go, but it just came down from here, it's probably not going to get right back as it was, just like 12 hours ago. Because there's usually a trend of it's going up or it's going down, So I can look back as far as 4 days before it's just kind of, useless data. Because back here, this doesn't even apply to what's going on down here anymore. So I'll look 2 days back. There's a big spike right here. Whatever happened there was a large buy volume. Someone just bought a bunch of Bitcoin Cash, or this is Dash. Someone bought a bunch of Dash coins, and that caused all of the sell orders to execute, and the more expensive ones were selling. So that caused the spike right here. And then once that guy stopped buying, people were trying to sell, but no one other than that big guy that had made a big purchase was trying to buy for that much. So then that caused a major downturn in the price because all of a sudden no one's buying that high anymore. So a lot of people trying to sell at this point, were cut off because that one guy that made, or one guy or one group, however it worked out, was done purchasing up as much as they could. So then price fluctuated down here. And then in the last 24 hours, I'll use to make my final decision. Like this is the peak in the 24 hours. And if it was, what is that? That was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 hours ago. Because this isn't our time frame, so it's always throws me off. Because this says like 1 in the morning over here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 hours ago. The price was at the 24-hour high, which was 0.052. So that's only 0.003 up, which would be a pretty big return. So I'm just kind of analyzing this out loud, guys. Excuse me. So then this is getting squeezier, so we definitely want to keep an eye on Dash Coin right now. Let's check back in with Bitcoin Cash. So this kind of is moving side by side, but like I said, Bitcoin Cash is more than double the volume of Dash, so it can change much quicker than Dash Coin can. So if you look at the buy-sell log, or the market depth, we're right in between here right now. That's probably where the Bollinger Band right here is, and then the Bollinger Band right here is, because those are the active buy-sell walls we're looking at. So then if you move this right here, you can see the price up top in that little bubble that comes up. You want to move it as close as you can to that wall before it goes up. And so 0.095 is going to be a major sell-off point. So 0.095 is like right here, which would be, if it's squeezed and it broke out through there, that would be a probably 3 to 4% return. And it would take, probably less than half an hour for that whole thing to execute. It could happen within the next half hour. So then down here is what you also want to look at and take into consideration is how low could it go before it hits a sell wall. Because in a sell wall, there's going to be a lot of purchases made at that price. So then that usually causes the price to go up. So I'll usually make sure that I can buy right before that sell wall so I can make sure I get mine, because it's going to be a frenzy. Everything's going to move very quick when that happens. So then the sell wall is going to be at, let's say, 0.092. So 0.092, 0.0, did I say that right? What is it? .092. Well, that'd be down here. So like if the Bollinger Bands drop a little bit and it hits right around here where the mouse is, there's going to be a huge buying frenzy. Everyone's going to buy and the price is going to jump up. So right now it doesn't look like it's ever going to get that low in the near future, because it is riding the top Bollinger Bands in between the middle and the top. So it's more in an uptrending state. So it doesn't look like it's going to get that low. So let's check it on Dash. I was getting squeezy there. Okay, see, so now what we're seeing right here with Dash is the bottom band is still slightly uptrending, but the top band is more moving towards a side-by-side. So that means it's kind of leveling out and capping out. So when it caps out, that's kind of indicating that that's going to be a line of resistance, that it might not puncture that based on the buy and sell logs. But the buy and sell logs can change in an instant if a group or a large investor wants to just place a huge order of 10 Bitcoins. It'll completely throw everything off. So you kind of have to monitor it, see how it's changing. People are starting to get invested in this squeeze here. As I can see, it's starting to move faster. Let's check in. 0.04936. Is that a squeeze? 0.0396. And then 0.04779. 0.04779. I think I got that backwards. What did I do? Oh, hey, my computer always does that to me. Okay, let's see. I think I had a typo on the top one. What did I do there? 0.04937. 0.04937. Okay. Yeah, it's not a squeeze. So I'm not going to get involved in this because it's just not predictable. It's not, because I was telling Doug, my strategy, my preferred strategy is I don't like to just place a lot of small ones because 1% of 1% of 10% of my investing portfolio isn't a worthwhile return to me. So what I like to do is I like to wait for one or two surefire textbook trades, and I'll go all in on one, and I'll be in and out of there in 10 minutes. And then 1% of my total trading portfolio is like, I don't know, $170 right now. I'm not sure how much I have in there right now. It's probably like, whatever it is, it's probably like $170 for 10% of what I'm holding. So I make $107, $170 in 10 minutes. And you do that 10 times a day, you made $1,000, almost $2,000.
Hey, Travis.
Yeah.
Check out NXT. It's very, very active, but I don't know if you want to mess with it.
Where is it?
NXT.
It's right there, right under Dash. Let's see.
Yeah, I might make a mistake on something like that, but it does look like the SMA line is trending downward. It's very wide.
Okay, yeah. So there's some volume moving there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So this would be a dip for sure. So then what we want to do is that's getting a lot of people buying this up right now, but according to the buy the dip strategy, we want to wait for it to fall below the bottom band at least for the third time.
Okay, so that's where I mess up because I would snag that right there, thinking, look at all that volume.
Yeah.
And then because of the bottom Bollinger Band spreading out, and it just keeps going.
So the whole Justin's, I remember going live with Justin when he first came out with because he came out with the buy the dip strategy like 4 or 5 months after iCoinPRO launched, and I was on the live call with him. See, all of a sudden, doesn't look so dippy.
Yeah.
See, out of nowhere, you can change like that if you're just buying on the first indicator of a dip. So then he says you want to kind of track the progress of the dip, and he says he noticed the trend he noticed was that usually after the third time it broke through the bottom band, it kind of recovered. So I don't know the reasoning behind that, but that's my rule of thumb is I wait for the candles to fall behind or below the bottom band for the third time before I analyze if it's a potential dip or not.
And it does not have to be in succession, right? It could be a dip and then a slight recovery and
right.
then another slight recovery, but you're looking for the third time.
Right. So if usually the bottom Bollinger Band will be downtrending the whole time, and they're bigger downtrends, So then it'll be riding below the middle and the bottom bands. So then, it could go down like this one. It might recover a little bit, where it might not even be 1% increase, and then fall again, and then recover 0.5% and then fall again. And then if you're not careful and you bought on that first dip, next thing you know, you're 3% down.
Yeah, you got to make up ground just to be even.
Yeah, you get like, oh my God, let me just break even at least, So like, there's a lot of activity going on here for sure, but we got to wait for this one to develop if we're going to find out how much of a dip there really is going to be. Because when the bands start going opposite directions that drastically, like that's a big angle right there compared to the flow of things how they're going. So when it starts doing that, the volume is just completely unpredictable. There's no strategy that we have at the moment to identify what can happen next. And we're not here to gamble. We want to make calculated risks where we have a track record of this has been working. So in the buy the dip strategy, it has been working for people when they noticed that the candle fell through the bottom at least 3 times. And then we waited for the big buy volume. Because right now it doesn't look like there's a lot of buy volume like there was just a moment ago, does there?
No.
That means a lot of people sell it off because you can buy and sell really quick. Because there are people that are in and out of here really quick. Because you can buy it at this moment at 403624, and then if it recovers like it was bouncing up and down just a moment ago, it could recover and you could sell it at 0.00003838. So right there is probably 1% or 2, that's going up and down right now. So there are people that are more risky than I ever want to be that will trade actively inside of one wick like this, which is I'm not a big fan of that because that could go any direction. There's no track record for trades like that, which are more high risk. Like right now, what were we just even looking at? It's gone. It's back and forth. So let's check in on these other coins real quick, see what's going on in these squeezes we were looking at. Looks like Dash is having some gains. That's still not squeezy enough for me. And then Bitcoin Cash, let's see what's going on there. Still not squeezy enough for me, but I'll monitor these. Usually I'll just be doing something else on my computer, but obviously we're going to look at it a lot more closely during this training call. So then XRP, and we can kind of scan through other ones while I've started the ones we have interest right now. Let's start this one too. Maybe keep an eye on that for a dip. So we missed the party on Ripple. That one's just volatile. We don't know what's going on there. Let's see, SRT. We're looking at SRT for a dip. Looks like the top band's still downtrending. And then the bottom band is kind of go, oh, look at that. There's a dip. Oh, up and down, up and down. So we'll just keep an eye on that one there. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'll just start jumping back and forth between a few of these coins and find out which one's about to happen. Which one's about to be the trade we're going to make. Because I'm going to pick the best out of these four, and I'm going to put almost $2,000 into that one trade. And, it's key to do that, and I don't recommend you guys put all of your money into one trade until you're a lot more comfortable reading the buy and sell orders and the graphs down here for market depth, because I use those very heavily to make a decision on what I'm going to do with my trades. Because there have been times when I was learning where I lost, my whole holdings. There was a time with Ripple here. I was up 60%. Like I was up 60%. I had turned about $1,000 into, I turned like 0.1 Bitcoin into like 0.3 Bitcoin in the matter of a day or two because I was holding Ripple. And then in the matter of an hour, 0.05 Bitcoin. So it's just lessons learned about reading these buy and sell orders and then reading the market depth. Because there's a huge sell wall that I didn't even bother to look at that hit, and then everything just sold off and the price plummet. So before you're putting large amounts, into a single trade, get familiar reading these buy and sell orders. And if you just stare at them, you can kind of figure out what's going on here. Because right here, everything that flashes gray like that is an active buy or sell. So right now we're observing this, and there's a lot more sales, a lot more selling than being bought. So then if we want to find out after determining that, we want to find out which one's higher. Is the sell order higher or is the buy order higher? So the sell order looks higher than the buy order. So that means the price is on an incline because there's more being bought at a higher price, or there's more being sold at a higher price than bought at a lower price. So that indicates the price is going to be coming up. So if you watch this, I bet it'll reflect any moment. This will turn, this will come up a little bit, if not in the next candle, during this candle. So let's see if you can actually witness that.
Okay, why I missed that? Why was that again? Because you looked at the buy-sell order book, and you were just looking at the volume on each side?
Yeah, so then we're looking at the buy and sell order book. So right now, the cheapest order for sale of this coin is at 3643, and then the highest buy order is at 3601. So everything's being sold much higher than is being bought. So then the buyers are forced to buy at this price. And we can see that the buyers are buying more because there's more activity popping up on the sell orders than on the buy orders. You see how these gray bars are popping up a lot faster on the sell side?
Yeah, and so you're saying
there's a lot more being sold than bought.
And because there's a gap there between the buy and the sell order initial price, it in the activity that you see on the sell order side, that would tend to indicate that they're going to start popping up a little bit higher.
Right, because if people are buying at a higher volume than being, if people are selling at a higher volume than they're being asked for in the purchase orders, it's going to indicate that buyers have no place to go except for up, because there's obviously more sales being made than purchases.
Yeah, because you see the screen flashing.
Yeah. So then up here, we're at, what was the top sell order? We are at 3613. So the 3613 is right around here. Right around there at the bottom. So there's going up and down right here where people are trying to get this. The buyers are trying to get it down here even cheaper, even cheaper, even cheaper. But people are saying, we're not going to sell for less. We're not going to sell for less. Look at how much it just dropped. Come on, man. You know? And then boom, it snapped into that. And what I like to do is refresh the page because that gets the most refreshed. You know, it shows you a whole new, it'll show you this compared to the active candlestick movement. It'll snap back into the market data. But yeah, people are just buying and selling that right now.
Hey, Travis, check out XEM. That might be like a full-on dip.
Where's XCM? Let's see.
It's dropped below several times. We got volume. You got a dip. It's about a third, fourth, fifth candlestick that has dropped below there.
There's a big sell order going on right here. If you're looking at the screen here that I have, there's immediately a gap right here, which means there's a big difference in the buy and sell orders. And there's an immediate sell wall right here. So everyone's trying to sell this coin right now.
Which means it would drop again.
Yeah. So it looks like it's going to keep going down. So in the buy the dip, it's important to look at this market depth chart right here. Because right here, it looks like there's just a big volume of sell orders at 2655. Yeah. At 2655, that's even further down than where we are. If you look at it's dropping, see it's hitting that sell wall now. It's dropping even further. And when this sell order is completed, that's when there may be a rise in price because now all that's been bought and people are going to start looking at, well, now what's this going to be worth? Mm-hmm. Because everyone looking at this has an investment mentality. They're all investors on here, traders. Now see, here's a big buy volume going. And what I usually do is I'll wait for the next tick to come out to find out if it's going to be in green or if it's going to be red. Because if the next tick comes out after the big buy volume, if it comes out in green, that's a good indicator that there's going to be a rise. So I might jump in on this one. Let's see. I like to wait for the next tick.
Oh, look at that volume.
Yeah, it's growing.
It came back, yeah.
So the next tick's green, but that's not a lot of volume. That's not enough volume for me.
Okay.
Because at the close of the tick, all these ticks are set up for 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, a new one of these candles is going to pop up, and it's going to indicate green for profit from the last candle, or red, which is going to be even lower than the last candle. So let's just see what this could be a good trade to make in the next couple 5-minute ticks.
But you would be waiting for that market depth information down at the bottom where for the red side to kind of just start shrinking just a teeny bit on that sell wall to indicate that it could be reversing.
Yeah. So see, there's the next tick. That's the same tick. It's getting into the profit from where when it starts turning green, that means the last tick the new tick is more higher priced than the last one. So when the next one comes out and it's red, that means it's even lower priced than the last one.
How do you arm your buy order? Is it the same way as the sell order? You can put the amount in, and then you can just click whatever the lowest price is for sell orders, and it doesn't matter if it keeps dipping. You're going to automatically get if it goes below that if you click buy. Correct? Yeah.
So what I do, there's a little shortcut that I found just recently. If you want to buy a lot really quick, you can actually click your amount of BTC, and it just uploads it. And you can just click buy immediately and go all in. But okay. I don't recommend doing any all in trades if you're still kind of getting the hang of things. So then I'll just type in a random amount, and then once it hits a certain price. So if I want to catch it, even lower than where it's at, like say 2600 even, I'll just type that in 26 right here. And then type 5,000. That's a little higher than what I got. Say 4,000. XEM. So if I want to catch it at 2,600, which I would have purchased, if it just came down a little bit higher, if I hit that buy order. Let's see. Let's look at this. See, I'm really concerned about this sell wall right here. It's still eating through that right now. So that's what's going on. This up and down is eating through this sell wall that we're looking at right here.
That's why it almost seems like it's stagnant because it's gotta get past that first.
Yeah, it's got to get past that before we see anything change because there's more sales than purchases going on. So that it's just trying to eat up through this wall right here because there's so many for sale at that one price that before we see any changes, it's got to complete all those orders. So all those purchases are just being made right now at that price. I might set a sell or buy order at 2,600 if I see some more volume come in. I'm gonna wait for the next tick though.
Now, another thing that I forget who put it on one of the videos, but if you're not all in, I like to do it like you do, just wait for a really good one. But another good thing is you could just click your Bitcoin amount right there and then put the cursor down in front of the one. Just click it into the screen, put the cursor in front of the one and add a 0, and that's going to give you.
And that'll give you 10% of your total volume, yeah.
Yeah.
I say boom, then put a 0 right there.
Yeah, a 0 before the 1. There's your.
And then you're in for 10% of your total holdings.
Yeah.
But I think 1% of 10% is like, 0.01 profits. Which I know I'm not on this all day. I kind of do it as a hobby on the side. So like there are people that will do that strategy, but they're making 20, 30 trades a day,
I can't do that because when I make those kind of trades and it shows a $3 return, I just don't have time to sit and stare at the screen like that.
I didn't stare at this for an hour for $3.
No.
But there are people that have more time and want to do it throughout the day. And, if some people have a big portfolio, 10% of theirs might be our full portfolio. We don't know what their 10% looks like. But my 10% is about $100, maybe $170.
Right.
So the buy volume's increasing. And then see this right here, as this uptrends, that's the projected, once that sell wall is completed, that's a projection for how high it possibly can go. It won't go that high, obviously. But the higher that goes while this is dipping, the more gains I see are possible to make because this is potential pricing is what the Bollinger Bands indicate.
And the SMA line in the center right there it's not as important on a dip, correct? On the squeeze, you really don't want that downtrending, but on the dip, it doesn't matter.
Right. See, it's still eating up that sell wall right there.
I'm starting to see, it's starting to like reform a different sell wall now.
Yeah, there's a second one. But look at that. Did you see that transfer right there?
Yeah.
That means there's a lot that went for sale even cheaper than that. So now this is going to dip even lower. That's why it's important to look at this when you're looking for a buy the dip, because there's a group of people that just said, I want to sell this right now. And then a bunch of them just sold it a lot cheaper than that wall is at because they're all competing at that wall. Everyone selling at that price is competing for like a micro Bitcoin, and, I don't think a micro Bitcoin is worth a 30-minute wait. There are people that do, where they might have 20 micro Bitcoins in there or 2,000 micro Bitcoins in there, where it does add up to a difference.
When you see that flat line in front of that sell wall just flatten out, what is that? Is that just people trying to put like one digit in front to squeeze in front of that?
Yeah, well, they're like, those are the guys trying to sell it just for just a small fraction cheaper so they can try and sell it before that sell wall hits.
Okay, I see. They're just trying to squeeze into it, and that's why that's extending.
Yeah, those are the people saying, "Oh my God, I'm so close to selling right now. I'm gonna take a thousandth of a profit less and sell first."
Mm-hmm.
And I did that yesterday quite a few times because I found myself in a sell wall where I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm totally happy with 2.5% compared to 3. Let me just sell this thing." Because when you start staring at it, you're so close to selling, like, oh my God, just sell. Like, just sell.
Just do what I want once.
Yeah. There's a couple times because I have a bunch of buddies and, that are local with me, and then we'll come over in my office and we'll have a couple drinks and we start saying, come on, sell it. Get all into it. So this one, let's check on these other ones real quick. We see where that one's going. Let's just see where these ones are. Bitcoin Cash, still moving pretty slow. What was that one we were just looking at right now? What was the name of it? That was XEM?
XEM.
The dash isn't looking as squeezy as it was. This is the bottom band's still uptrending, so that indicates growth still. But this one's still not very squeezy. So an NXT. Ooh, did you see that drop right there? So that's a dip still forming with NXT. So that's similar to what we're looking at with XEM. I think XEM's still a little more developed, and it's higher in volume, so it's going to happen faster. The thing with higher volumes is that you'll see these up and down bounces up and down a lot more frequent because there are more people trying to buy and sell at that moment than, you know, some of the ones down here with only 800 in volume. So yeah, this is half of the game here, just, you know, waiting for that, especially when you're going all in, like I like to do.
Well, that's why I like to go all in, because of it, you're just staring at a screen all day long if you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do all in, and then when it's moving really quick is when it's my favorite because I can go all in, boom, done, all in, boom, done, all in, boom, done, and do like 4 or 5 all in trades back to back and make a cool 10 to 20% profit in a day. You can see this XEM. No, this is STR here. Look at this STR dip forming right now. There's a big drop in volume right there. Oh, and it recovered. And it dropped.
Interesting. That's another one.
I find the ones that are looking good, and like I did a little star thing here, so that way I can just filter through them back and forth real quick and just watch them, see which ones do.
That STR has been very active over the last 2 weeks. I mean,
it has been. STRs are just up and down all over the place. I don't know what's behind it. I hear it's like the coin itself is actually like it's some type of, it's similar to Ripple, I think, and it is like a payment processing coin. And I think they landed an agreement or some kind of contract with the IBM company.
Yeah, because it just exploded about 2 weeks ago and went crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing it out of nowhere. I had never recognized it before, and out of nowhere, it was up like 100-something%. I need to text my girlfriend back. She's been blowing me up while I've been on this call. One sec, guys. Should I am crypto trading? Not cheating on you, babe, I swear.
You have video proof.
Yeah, video proof. I'll send you the recording. I won't text her back for like 3 hours, like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm just trading.
Oh wow, Stellar's taking a nosedive right now.
Where's that at? Stellar STR.
It hasn't fully accounted for that lower cost yet, but the candlestick is doing a number on it. My problem with these altcoins, though, Travis, is that when you start, you got to be very aware of what Bitcoin is doing also,
Yeah, you always got to
because
keep an eye on that.
you have to keep an eye on it, because if you start to see a recovery on the Bitcoin side,
These will start to dip.
Much, much worse.
Yeah. Wow, is that Bitcoin 13? Back down to the 13 range. Bitcoin's dipping still.
It's recovering right now. It was down to like 13.3 not too long ago.
Wow. Okay.
That's kind of why I'm surprised we're seeing some of these dips, and all on the altcoin side, because you'd think they'd be shooting up the other direction with the Bitcoin dipping.
Well, at a certain point, people that bottom low are just starting to sell off because they see Bitcoin coming up a little bit, and they're just getting out while they know it's guaranteed profits.
Why? Because they bought it when Bitcoin was 17 the other day, so
yeah.
They don't.
So like this coin, most of these coins yesterday were up 50%, something 50%. You know, so I mean, people selling right now while it's still up another 10%, they made a 60% profit, which is pretty lucrative in one day. You kidding me? Come on, that's crazy. Yeah, these coins are they don't know they can't make up their minds.
Yeah.
So we had Bitcoin Cash and Dash Coin going through a squeeze. Let's see. And usually I don't monitor it this closely, I usually do other stuff on the computer while I'm doing this. And I'll kind of poke back in and out. I'm usually working. I'm usually doing computer estimates on QuickBooks here.
Yeah, and I just don't have time to do it, and it seems like some of the big actions tends to take place when I'm sleeping in the middle of the night here.
Yeah, because the biggest traders, they're in China and Japan right now. So usually when we're sleeping, the most activity happens.
That's right.
I woke up the other day in Bitcoin, I fell asleep, it was like 12.5. I woke up and it was 15 something a few days ago. I was like, what is going on right now?
Well, me and you were chatting about it on Messenger the other day when it kept dropping, and we sold good on a dip or whatever it was that we were doing, but I was going to buy back in, and I layered a few trades in there and then readjusted them whenever it kept climbing. I should have kept them where they were. Every single one of them would have hit that night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm getting acclimated, I guess you could say, to this new Bitcoin trend, because before it would be, up $500, down 1,000, up $2,000, down 1,500, and it would stay that way for about, a month. But now it's just the way it's going. It's just moving so much quicker. I can't call it as well as I used to. So it's just I'm rewatching and reanalyzing the Bitcoin trends that have been going on, because it's all new. It changes.
Yeah, and I don't even know what's going on today, because I would think before the futures information comes out, people would hold it, but I guess some people think the other way. I don't really know what's happening today. I'm not getting rid of Bitcoin until tomorrow evening.
I'm holding it for sure. I think it's gonna launch tomorrow evening.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably the lowest we're ever gonna see it again.
It very likely could. I mean, I might buy a little bit more if it keeps dipping later on, just on Coinbase or something, and use it for that other coin we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I definitely recommend picking some of that up. I was gonna talk to you guys about that a little bit. This coin here. I don't want to kind of get off the trading screen though, because we got a couple we're watching. But I'd definitely recommend some token pay coins. It's going to be making like a banking system for crypto, and they want to make physical locations where there's physical crypto banks. and physical exchanges that are accessible to people just walk into and exchange their coins for fiat currencies. Because right now there's kind of not a struggle, but there's a mainstream problem where people walking in that bought Bitcoin like, okay, wait a second, how do I get cash for this now? You know, they're confused. And this token pay wants to kind of bridge that gap to, you know, cash and crypto. And it looks pretty promising. Very secure. It runs on torrent. Very private. I think it's a little bit better than Monero, but it's based off of blockchain compared to Ethereum. It's based on Bitcoin compared to Ethereum.
What is it? It's $3.75 a coin to start with, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording this.